Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. It's the NFC Wildcard round on EA Sports. As we'll see Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers taking on Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles.
It was a frequent sight in the 80s and 90s, and it's continued on till today. Playoff football in the Bay Area as we welcome you to Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. Intensity level will be off the charts.
And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
And he comes into this wild card round off of a really good regular season, better than 30 touchdown passes. And he said he feels like he can take some shots against the secondary. In fact, in our meeting, he said not only can he take shots, he expects to do it early.
To throw at the outset, here's Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. And they get 17 more on that one and another first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10, right at the 40. They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Again, it's Barkley. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave them with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Here's Hurts to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. Not a touchdown, obviously, but playoffs, you're on the road. At least you put something on the board.
I would agree with that totally. You're not exactly sending a message to the opposition, but you are letting them know that you came to play.
And no thought of bringing this one out. They'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And trotting out there, no introduction needed for this guy around the league. Now in his 7th season as a QB.
And he comes off of a really good regular season with over 4,000 yards passing. And now in the playoffs, people always ask the question, do you continue to play the way you played in the regular season? Do you turn it loose? Or do you tone it down a little bit? I think you've got to be smart. But make sure you show the defense something they haven't seen before.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Good running right there. And this is a man who's a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Samuel going to go in motion right. Purdy now on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 7 yards there and a first down.
That's a pretty play there coming out of the backfield. But as that back, you've got to be conscious of making sure you're securing the football. When you get out in open field, sometimes you get a little loose with it as you're trying to get up ahead of steam. Make sure you keep it close to your body because those defenders are trying to punch it free. He does a nice job there protecting the ball and picking up a first down.
Now a first carry here for the running back to the 43, 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Purdy. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Now a 2nd and 10. Purdy will set up to throw it here. That's complete to Michael Wilson. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 32-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Out of the gun, Purdy. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. David Ojabo running in to take him down.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Purdy now to throw off the play action. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel, 38 yards. And the 49ers have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well that they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
Moody good with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's Deebo Samuel who caps things with a touchdown reception. So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
And you know, listen, there's 2 ways to get the number 7 seed. You can back into it, or you can charge your way into it and seize it. But ultimately, once you're here, you can throw that out the window. You've got to come to play.
Yeah, you just think of that phrase, any given Sunday or Saturday as the case may be. And even though this is a 2 versus 7 matchup, don't think for 1 second that this game's going to be a pushover. Anything can happen once the playoffs begin.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. In motion right is Smith.
Here's a fake on the jet sweep as he'll go instead with Barkley.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
They'll run it again with Barkley.
And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9.
Throwing is Hurts.
He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 41-yard line. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistently, they're tough to beat.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Off The play fake. Here's Hurts.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. One, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But two, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. That was perfect. From distance, he steps up, knocks it right down Main Street.
And Main Street's celebrating right now with him, aren't they? I love the mechanics of the whole thing. Snap, hold, everything was right on target, and the blocking was perfect, and he executed so well.
Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains, that means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
Purdy now to throw. Throws the out route and completes it to Samuel. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a 1st down. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
A 2nd down throw for Purdy. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 38-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 42 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
And this is what you want to do in the 1st half of a playoff game. Get the running game established. He was a big part of their run to a division title, so they're going to rely on him to carry a heavy load here in the playoffs. He rips off a nice run there.
Right back to him on first down. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Throwing on 2nd down, it's Purdy. Throw left side complete. That's Wilson. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers are able to stretch out their lead.
In as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Now Moody for the PAT. And it's up. It's good. Our score 14-6. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting threes, and you're coming back and getting twos, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those 6s on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And this is going to be an Eagles first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. After one, 14-6 our score on EA Sports. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. They'll look to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be 2nd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
The Eagles send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. They'll start this drive out on the ground. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
2 yards to go, 2nd down.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this.
Purdy looking to throw. That's Samuel, caught left side. And Debo going to have a Niners first down as he's up to the 47. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 71 yards rushing for him in this first half, as he has certainly carried over his regular season success into the playoffs. From the 46, here's 2nd and 3. Play action, now Purdy. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 32-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Purdy off the play fake. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Rashad White, 30 yards. And the Niners go up by 2 touchdowns. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Moody good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was all finished off by a touchdown catch from Rashad White. So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Second down. Here's Hurts.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And the return will stop right around the 25.
He was under duress, surveying, trying to find somebody to get the ball out of his hands. In the meantime, the defense, they took it out of his hands.
And when the ball snapped, I know exactly what the defense is thinking. Get a sack, put him on the ground. But when you can also knock the ball free while doing so, oh, there's the bonus for you as a defender.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
57's the mic. 57's the mic. 6-man.
Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it. Well, that's complete to the fullback, Ricard. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
You don't see too many pass-catching fullbacks nowadays, partner. In fact, you don't see too many fullbacks, period.
Good news, though, he does have decent hands, and we saw it right there on display. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4.
51's Mike. Mike 51.
Here's Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead. And part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4.
Hey, let's get some penetration here.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And a little bit of space there, takes it inside the 5 to the 3. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
57's Mike. Mike 57.
Now Purdy. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. David Ajabo. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
Quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. 51's the mic. 51's the mic.
Back to throw, Purdy. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle 3rd of the field, and that brings up 4th.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion. Way up, not that time. So Purdy off and Moody on for the 49er field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Yetur Gross-Matos.
That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Dancing to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. It certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is fielded at the 27. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
In motion right, Debo. He'll get it here on the jet sweep.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Throwing here, Purdy.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
They go play action here, Purdy. Oh, he's going up top for Wilson.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away.
It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. And Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively at second down.
Back to throw here to Barkley on the check down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. By the skin of their teeth, they are able to convert on 3rd and inches.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll go to Barkley again. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
2nd and a couple.
Now back to throw. He'll get this out to Barkley complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 43. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a 1st down. They'll set up to throw. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd and 7. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Two minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Hurts throw there taken in by Smith.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit.
Touchdown, Eagles! Dallas Goedert from 4 yards out.
And the Eagles are able to cut into that deficit.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And it is
is good. That cuts the lead now to 11-24, 13-hour score. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And the drive was all finished off on the touchdown catch by Dallas Goedert. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. Operating from the gun, Purdy. Working the middle here, that's complete to Knox, the tight end. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 23 yards the pickup there.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Now on first down, it's Purdy. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Jalen Carter. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC Wildcard matchup. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. This game 2 of our triple header here on Wildcard Sunday. We'll get back out to you two in just a moment. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where it was the visiting Seahawks who were able to come away with the road victory. Kenneth Walker, well over 100 yards on the ground with a pair of touchdown runs. The Niners got a fine performance in the first half from one of their leaders, Brock Purdy. His 2 touchdown passes helped pave the way for his guys to take this lead into the intermission.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. Now he's loose at the 40. Inside the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. A great play there with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Niners continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
So after the made field goal by Moody, he's back out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. He'll look to throw, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. That's pulled in at the 32. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And they will take over 1st and 10. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Purdy. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one goes for 36 yards.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
From the 22 now, here's the 2nd down and 6. Back to throw. Purdy. Oh, and that is incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, But they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Mike 51, Mike 51. All day, play.
Here's Purdy now on 3rd and goal. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. An effective 7-yard third down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that third down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. This is a 2nd and 4, ball at the 9.
Let's go. Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Looking to throw. Purdy. This will be caught at about the 6. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches.
Hey, check Mike 57, Mike 57.
Back to throw. Purdy. And that's going to be caught. Oh, one-handed grab there, and he's got it for the touchdown. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Extra point try now for Moody. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's Deebo Samuel who caps things with a touchdown reception. So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Let's get off the field.
Barkley inside handoff. And he's
he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
46 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
And you can tell just by looking at them that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
This is taken at the 23. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They have picked up right where they left off in half number 1, just looking really dominant, extending this lead.
And it's fun to see when teams actually do that, because so many times you go into the half after playing well, and you kind of relax a little bit. We've got this. We can kind of punch the button whenever we get good and ready. But for a team to keep the intensity and keep the execution up and come back after the half and play so well, that's actually really, really nice to see.
And a pedal to the metal. That's what we're seeing right now.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field.
Operating from the gun, Purdy.
Looking for the crossing receiver, and he's got him. It's Samuel.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first. A handoff as they run the counter play.
He'll get this up to about the 44.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
2nd down and 8.
Looking to throw. Purdy.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Right here, guys. Mike 51, Mike 51.
Purdy with it on 3rd and long. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Fair catch called for and collected right at the 10-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Eagles will be backed up deep to get the drive started as they take over 1st and 10. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And they'll get him down here at the 23. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go
ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
54 is Mike.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
And this will be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
2nd and 10.
Hey, here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
Up the middle with Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield and spilling everything.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Hurts. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Let him know. 35's the mic. Check back.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Push your back.
2nd down, here's Barkley again. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 59 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Kill.
Now the first carry here for the running back. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first.
Great. Right anyway, huh? 54 Mike. All right, T, let's go. All right, T. Hey, watch Sam. Check. Go.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down and 7. Hands it off out of the gun. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. That good for 19 and a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10, down at the 33. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been the running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a first down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's Hurts to throw. Over the middle to Smith. And the Eagles are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Eagles go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points.
And as a defensive coordinator, you're almost in a no-win situation down here near the goal line. You know how dangerous Jalen Hurts is when he holds on to it. You've got to be prepared to stay with him. So when he hands it off, if you're slow in reacting, this is going to be the result.
Elliott on for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to 18. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
Purdy. Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. It's Sidney Brown with it. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Quick slant here to Smith. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Hurts sets up to throw it. Buying time to his left. And Hurts able to show off some of that elusiveness as he slides to the ground there and in the process picks up the 1st down. It's a 9-yard gain and it'll keep the drive moving.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, No hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a handoff as they run left side. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now a first carry here for their running back. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. One quarter remains in this NFC Wildcard matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And now here's a carry heading left. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 2nd and goal. Hurts. Touchdown! From 6 yards away. And the Eagles have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. That time a 6-play drive. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. San Francisco's offense returns to the field, and they are looking good. A 2-score lead here in this 4th quarter as they hope to capture a spot in the divisional round next weekend. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket. Because you mentioned the feast or famine part, he's played well in between being dumped on his back, but every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 14.
Mike 51. I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
Purdy now to throw off the play action. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
Part that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
And in a situation like this, you're in the second half with the lead, trying to get to the division round. They're going to let him do his thing on the ground, and that's a great run there to pick up a first down.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Samuel going to go in motion right. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. Jalen Carter in on that tackle.
So they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
The throw down the field caught by his running back. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 23. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Purdy now on second down. He's got his target. It's the tight end Knox. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first. And now following that last play, I do believe we're going to get a review here. Yes, indeed, the red flag is out. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
Let's go. Let's do it.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
Purdy from the gun. Toward the end zone. Going to wind up incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here, and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Eagles are right back in this football game. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles. They move it down the field well. Cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here because they were sharp in moving it down the field, but sometimes you start thinking like a touchdown is a given, and it doesn't always work out that way as we saw there.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. If they want to advance in this divisional round, look, obviously the time is now. Trailing here in the fourth as they go to work on a crucial drive, 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. This will be caught by Brown. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. 2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts. This will be caught once again by Brown. And A.J. going to pick up an Eagles 1st down as he'll get this to the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. Here's a handoff out of the gun. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
From the 25, here's a 2nd and 9. They'll look to throw. Fires the quick slant. A.J. Brown's got it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles 1st. He'll drop to throw. Open man, that's Malik Neighbors. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Okay, 2nd and 1, you get nothing. What now on 3rd and 1?
Sorry about that. I was so excited I jumped in on you. This is almost like practice to me. Line it up and do it again. You didn't get it right the first time. Just get right back on the ball and go. It doesn't matter that they know you're coming. You ought to be able to pick up this short yardage.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he's got the 1st down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. I love those plays. 4th and 1, that's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop?
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
This has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. Another try after the 1st down sack. Hurts. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 29-yard line. Hurts finding Smith for the Philly first. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
On first down, Hurts. That one taken in by Neighbors. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. That's complete. It's Neighbors. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it second down. They'll look to throw here. Touchdown, Eagles! Devontae Smith, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Eagles have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
It's complete, but he will not get in here. He stopped up short of the goal line, and this will remain a 5-point game.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
The 49ers ready to set up shop again offensively. And this a very important drive leading in the 4th quarter of this wild card game. But this one far from over as they start out here first down. Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Defensively, no doubt they need a quick stop. Offensively here, maybe do you put it in the air on second down, or do you go ahead and keep it on the ground, keep that clock moving?
A lot of people would ask that question, partner, because sometimes throwing the ball might actually be the path of least resistance. But in this case, it's a matter of trust. How much do you trust your quarterback? Because you throw the ball and it goes awry, you really don't look smart as a coach.
Yeah, and then you stop that clock. fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off.
57's the mic. 57's the mic.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
57's the mic. Watch 57. It's a party now.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
51's Mike. Mike 51.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he will have a Niners 1st down, and that ought to be the one that seals the victory. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
I know he ain't got it. Hey, check Mike. Mike 57.
Here's a give up the middle. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11.
51's the mic, boy. 51.
A first carry for Rachaad White. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game, check, got that done. Win a wild card game, big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The 49ers get the win here at home as we say so long from Santa Clara.